Well, this one's a really interesting one today, and I've just started this podcast without these guys really knowing because I've got Drew and Sean popping in today, and I am genuinely blown away by what they just showed me. I actually thought it was something very different. You heard the podcast last week or the week before. These guys are deep in AI and doing a lot of stuff for a lot of builders and construction businesses, but businesses all over Australia in this space. But I thought they were coming in today to show me how to build a website. And then they showed me this new thing, which is under their brand Buildability, one of their, streams of products that they offer. And it is absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to take you through it today. But yeah, before we kind of start, as I said, the other podcast, we talked about you guys building out various sort of agents and things that help you and reporting platforms and stuff that are able to drag the publicly available data about your business and things that you're doing and make sense of them. Yeah, today, what have you guys kind of created before we get into it? And how did you do it? I can't believe actually that you're allowing us to film this.
Well, we're okay with it because we now have the ability to scale, which when we were talking at the back there before is that we're already doing this work. A client will come to us and say, we need to move the needle. We need to grow, build, whatever it is. And Sean and I could do that on a capacity where you handed a task by the client, and that task might be, like we showed, build a dashboard, do some marketing, help with their operations. But we talk about your days from marketing as well. Show your worth. It took time to take the meeting, go back and iterate a few times, and that took time at their end. You then had to do the work, schedule it in, deliver it.
100%.
But to deliver it was sometimes showing them 4 different websites, going in the back of Google, getting reports ready. All that is now obsolete. It is the biggest, what we would say, time suck in any business is getting all that ready. And what Sean has built for our clients is a dashboard that brings in any of the data they want so that the decision maker, the CEO, the managing director, the general manager has that information to hand. And that could be any of their marketing, operations, sales or technology, any of their CRM data just on one page so that it is constantly being updated live so they can log in and have a look. And one of the things we're going to show you is the back end of our AI setup. So we can show everyone we're not gatekeeping. We're not scared to show everyone the back end of ours because A, they're not going to be able to replicate it very easily anyway. And then B, talk about some user case examples. And one of the ones was the NCC idea you had the other day.
Yeah.
We'll talk about some examples that we have done since the podcast 2 weeks ago. So you can see we're actually building these live for clients and what the results of the clients are.
Absolutely. It's phenomenal too. Like I said to Sean and yourself that, we know a few good developers in the space and they listen to your podcast. We've got a lot of questions from the community out there. So thank you guys. And really get in touch with these guys. Don't question me. Ask these guys, honestly, because I can't help you. I cannot help you because what they just showed me, Sean showed me one section of what we're about to show you. And then I had a look at the other and I was just like, what is going on here? Like I have never seen anything like it. You can pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for this stuff through Salesforce or whatever, but you actually don't get what you get from what you guys can do. Plus you'll just waste a whole heap of money. It's just absolutely phenomenal. But,
and the other part, just quickly before Sean does his part, is that I think we all have fatigue in the industry from being sold a widget, being sold a product, being sold a solution. Yeah. And that requires you to buy another CRM, buy some more marketing, buy something. And like on the interviews you and I have done before, is that's not the answer. Is what's your problem? What's the solution? And the solution is not buying another widget. So we're not selling a widget. We're actually going, hey, show us your 10 widgets. We'll make all that data come into one visible. You can decide if those widgets are then useful or not, but it's not changing a CRM. It's not more ads. It's not anything. It's that getting all your information in one place and then making those business decisions to grow from there.
You know what I saw when you showed me it, Sean and Drew, like when I was just thinking about it and sitting there and you were just blowing my mind. I was like, you know what you're selling? Clarity. Finally, clarity over a business. And I think many don't have that. We talked about it. You bring up some examples. Drew, when I worked in a franchise organization, I had no idea how the socials were going for French's Forest in Sydney. Like I had no idea. I had no idea how I could help them locally. And I could have, if I actually had that data into me, we could have made stronger builders for our networks.
So I'll jump in there, like for using that exact example, you would have to stop any other work you're doing,
100%.
Go and do a Google deep dive on French's Forest or get a subordinate to do it.
When you've got 88 other franchisees.
You have to stop your whole day just to work on that.
Yep.
And then come up with your own keywords and come up with your own ideas.
Yeah.
And trial and error it. Whereas now it's actually go, all right, agent, and surely if you want to bring up the agents on the screen, ask the marketing agent to go, right, we have a task or an idea in mind that we want French's Forest to come up to be in line with all the other franchisees around it. Ask the marketing agent, Sean, tell us some prompts you'd probably do to go in that example, what you'd ask that agent to.
Well, I guess you think about the agent, you want to treat them more as like an employee. So
the
same guides that you'd give an employee to go and do a task. So, hey, I need you to go and do this research on this particular client. You give the same instructions. You just talk to it like a human being and it will follow those instructions probably even better than an actual employee would do. So it's amazing. And I think what you can see on screen there is just a bit of an indication of how we've split our team.
What have you got there, Sean?
So,
Sorry,
you're right.
Yeah.
So you can see, business development. So this agent responsible for going and getting new leads. So scraping the internet for information, reaching out to them. So basically doing that cold lead up so that we can get them on the phone. We got a creative design agent who kind of works with the marketing manager. So this person's responsible for generating, I say person, I mean agent. This agent's responsible for generating images, will be responsible for video down the track and works underneath the marketing manager. So the marketing manager, who we call Lara, is responsible for the branding, the message, the tone. And this agent will give this agent instruction on how to do it. And that agent will go and generate the image as required.
Keeping it on brand, keeping it on scheme, keeping it knows everything about it. Where using French's Forest, all right, tell us how to improve our SEO and then please go and do it.
And that's it, Drew. Like what I see here, you've created all these experts. Again, while if I was back at GJ's and I got that data, I'm still not an expert. That's the other thing. I'm still not an expert to really get the right SEO keywords. I know a little bit, so I could have given my opinion, but it looks like you've developed full people/agents that are experts in each category of running a business. That are probably top 1%. If you tried to hire someone like that, you'd be paying top 1% of money on salary.
Not about that way. It's literally the top 10.
Look how much money you got there.
Yeah, well, exactly. If everyone there,
you got $1 million right there.
Yeah, if not. Yeah, and like this is just top level. You could really dive deep down into the marketing agent and build out full agent categories underneath that. So you could have a full creative design agency, you could have a full SEO agency. So you could, in theory, do that. I think that's probably a little bit too granular for what we're trying to do.
But using French's Forest still, do you want to then jump to the dashboard and go, right, so then if you, Sean, then show us the actual reporting side and go, we'll make the one we've got there, Sean, the Summit Roofing. Yeah, so assume Summit Roofing is French's Forest.
Wow.
All we want to know as either the general manager at GJ or you as a marketing manager is our idea on improving SEO being effective. That reporting is coming in to your main dashboard at the click of a button, and you can go into the marketing or the Google business side of things and just get that information and feed that back to the decision makers. And that can then come back to, are we ranking on keywords? Therefore, are we making conversions from ranking on that keywords? Do we need to increase our marketing spend on paid traffic while this is increasing? Can we decrease our paid spend because our SEO is doing its job? All your decision is to hand at the click of a button and look at the position and percentage change there. Just it's doing all that for us and reporting for us like an expert would. But that expert, when you run the agency, had to manually download that and have subordinates and a team to do it. It's replaced.
And to be brutally honest, like I'm pretty honest on this podcast, we didn't have experts all the time in our team.
Still don't.
You know what I mean? Like we just didn't. I'm just being honest. That's what I love what you've done, Sean. Like, I'm sure the agents, and you showed me that sort of stuff, top 1% in terms of knowledge, expertise, would probably beat any human on the planet Earth in anything that you train it to do.
Well, that's the thing. If you give it the skills and the guidelines, it can perform a task over and over again.
I'm probably going granular, but how do you do that just very quickly? It's probably too hard for builders. Like I think I said before the podcast, like really looking at what you've done, guys. I think the best thing for you guys out there to do is not ask me questions and just get you guys to build it. I'm not being rude, but like I tried it myself. I tried a little bit of open claw after talking to you guys. I have no idea. I had a very good friend. I won't name him because I don't want to embarrass him, but he was trying, like I told to you about it before the podcast. Very intelligent guy. Tried to make open claw talk to him. Couldn't even talk to him. What would a builder have a chance? Having this sort, like what would be the odds of a builder developing this out, being really honest guys?
Low. I'm around this all day and I couldn't do this.
Low?
Yeah.
So you couldn't do it, Drew?
I couldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
What
let
are
you
you,
do
Sean?
it.
He wouldn't let me near it. He wouldn't let me near it.
You are.
Look, I have an IT background, so I guess my brain works in a certain way because that's where I've come from. Now, I'm not the world's greatest expert either, but with the advent of modern technology and AI, you can ask it questions, you can get the feedback, you can get the information you need.
How much time did you spend doing that though, Sean?
Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of yeah. And if you don't have that time for one, or you're not prepared to put that time in, or you've got someone in your team who can do it, it's just not going to be worth it for you. You're better off contracting someone like us who can actually
100%.
jump in and make it work.
And like our tagline on our website is that we honestly now believe we can replace the need for 3 full-time employees for less than the cost of one, because we are using all those agents to deploy all the business ideas that the owner wants for a monthly retainer. And there's no cap on what we can deliver as long as it's inside that retainer.
And an agent can work 24/7, whereas, a paid employee is only going to work from, let's say, 9 to 5, maybe a little more. So you've got access, you've got the ability to have someone running for you all the time, can be checking things constantly, giving you updates. And that's someone you might be paying 130, 140 grand a year for, just for one. So
that is a great point. And I used to when I'd had my agency, I used to think about it like that in a way. I used to go, am I charging him too much? And I'd be like, oh, look. And our price wasn't this. I've just used the price that sort of I think sits well with you guys, about 5 grand, right? You think about 60 grand a year. You're like, seems pretty fair, because you couldn't even get a marketing coordinator for 60 grand a year. Go get a marketing coordinator for 60 grand a year that can perform like 10 of these things that you built.
You get a fresh graduate that you have to train.
Mate, that's why what you built, I am so excited for.
I got excited a couple of weeks ago when Sean, I now have something productized. So I have a service that's now productized because he's built a dashboard that every client gets. And I got excited going, I am able to demonstrate as we move the needle, we're moving the needle together with the owner or founder.
Yeah.
It's no longer just a hot air conversation about needs, wants, and maybes. It's on the dashboard. Is it working or isn't it?
Wow.
It's visible. And that means we're putting our head on the stake as well. We're actually saying, well, we're building it. Is it going to work or isn't it going to work? But data doesn't lie. So it's just basically, hey, we're moving the needle together. We're actually helping their business perform. And we show them there, we've only shown the marketing side, but anything that they can think of, their Google business page, their leads and pipeline, their CRM should be able to work.
That's
so
cool.
You can actually go, where are the leads coming in? Where are they at?
And your recruitment strategy.
Yeah, the recruitment strategy. Yeah, the recruitment strategy is for some of our biggest clients, the thing that they cherish the most, because they have an ability to productize recruitment, which wasn't before. It used to be, are they on Seek or aren't they on Seek? And there's so many more avenues to make the candidates come into the office rather than be outbound. But once they're taught that and once it's visualized on here, especially those with, say, multiple depots, multiple franchisees model works because the master franchisee has all that data coming in, where they're ranking, how many leads coming in. It's just on one dashboard, which previously, I'm sure plenty of them do have their own dashboard. It would take hundreds of $1,000s.
And the time.
And the time to do it. And then if that internal person was to leave, they're left with a dashboard with no one driving it, or that marketing agency folds.
Yeah.
Like they've got this big team with everything that is just gone.
And it's critical.
Yeah.
Such a critical piece of business.
So productizing the service for me was like, right now that can scale with confidence, because we didn't want to take more clients on if we weren't able to deliver. That's the last thing you ever want as a business owner. So,
well, as I said, I think particularly in that franchise space, like I've been in there a little bit. James Stroud, we know very well. He's going to jump on the pod again in a couple of weeks. James, mate, got to check this out. The Stonewood guys, the GJ's guys, visibility we never had. But this particular, even the way you're looking at recruitment. Now, like, do a lot of you builders out there actually look at recruitment like this? Do you know how many trades you have on? Do you have that in a dashboard? Like, do you monitor that stuff? Do you know how much you can take on and resource? I think a lot of builders don't.
And let's use the word procurement there as well. So it's recruitment and recruiting, or we can use procurement for your trades and contractors. And all right. Let's use a recent example of all the hailstorms. At the moment, roofers are in demand.
And you work very much in insurance.
I do work in that insurance space. So roofers are of demand. Not every roofer is going on Google. Not every roofer has a website, but they might have 2 or 3 crews running with 15 guys. They might be the perfect fit. But if your procurement team can't find them, you are no hope of then delivering on what work you've received and growing with confidence, I guess. So the strategy there of actually having an understanding of where recruitment and procurement is at any one stage. And we've got the saying in our office is improve your contractors, improve your profit. You're a client, potential client, but those contractors underneath you, if you really like them and they want to grow, they're also a client. So
Yeah.
you've actually mastered the model going, you're a client. The same service we can do for you, we can do for that contractor that has a roofing crew, wants to grow with you, hasn't got the capacity because he doesn't know where to do and doesn't want to put people in the office. All the unknown, we can take all that unknown away and go, right, your 3 best contractors, give them over to us. If they want to jump on and do the monthly mandate as well, we'll get them up to speed. You're going to improve your margins. They're going to be happier
together. I have seen it happen where they couldn't scale together, and it was a shame.
Yeah.
The trade lost kind of out. Not that the builder did a great job in the end. I mean, they didn't procure and recruit as well, but it all falls down when you don't have people. And that is why when you showed me this, I was like, I've never seen this before. I have never seen this in my entire life or career. I've never seen a dashboard on recruitment or procurement.
Yeah. Well, that's
it is very cool.
Not that we can share on here, but the client we showed you back.
Yeah.
They have 300 contingent staff that has grown from 100 in the last couple of years, and they're going to need to go to 600 over the next 3 years.
Insane.
And their competitors, they have such a competitive advantage at the moment because they're in that blue collar world.
Wow.
That those people aren't really putting CVs together and putting them on Seek, but they're very, very, very necessary. They're an important part to roads being built, buildings being built, all those kind of things. So they have a competitive advantage over their peers in that industry because they have a recruitment and procurement process in place, and now the data at hand, how much they're spending, where they're lacking, where they can put extra effort in, where they can put extra effort into Google to increase their visibility across all their 12 depots.
Wow.
Their 12 depots will go to 2025 over the next 3 years. And the CEO now is off to the board meeting Thursday and going, guys, I have the whole next 3 years mapped out. We don't need to look any further. And it's all data being driven straight back to his desktop.
Bloody hell. Well, Sean, mate, you've kind of put all this thing together. What actually is possible? Like, what could a builder, actually, I shouldn't say that, any business put in there? Because I think, like, this is important to builders, trades, suppliers, marketing agencies, anybody. Like, what can you put in this there?
I think the limit really is your imagination, for one.
Okay.
So if you can think about anything that your business is currently connected to or doing, most applications or most CRMs, most software out there that is a service, is used as a service, will provide some way to connect to it. So as long as that's there, you can grab that data and bring it back in and put it on a dashboard. So we're finding daily, like we're getting ideas daily. Oh, can we connect this? Well, let's go and have a look. Yes, we can. And we can spin that up and get that into the dashboard. I think probably the most impressive thing for me at the moment is just how quickly we can get things done, where in the past it would take you months back and forth, thousands and thousands of dollars wasted.
Yeah.
Whereas now that, once we've got an idea firm, we can go into planning mode, get it all done and wrap it up in a much shorter time period. So for me as the nerd, the implementer, that's way more exciting than having to wait 3 or 4 months to actually see a result.
I think the key is you want to go back to your mission control.
Yep.
The key is you've taken the time at the start to go, right, we're not going to half do this. This is going to be the core of our business. And that mission control you've built for us is just amazing for me to so I said, I'm a visual person. I keep saying, Sean, you can talk all you want.
I am too.
I have to. So he listened and he's built this out. And I'm like, I can, when he first verbally ran it by me and I got it straight away, but now it's built out. I'm like, oh my God, like every part that I could want to understand is broken down bit by bit. And we can add other agents in there. But the super agent over the top, the super agent thinking for him and I, controlling all the other agents is the key as well. Like, because then it's stopping them. If they're going to do something silly, hey, don't do that. We've got some rules in place. Don't go and spend $3,000 at Google overnight and bill us. So we've got the thinking with the end in mind is the key that Sean did for me is building that out and actually breaking it down bit by bit, piece by piece, agency by agency.
And you might be tooting my horn a little bit there, but because I did,
your horn deserves a big toot.
I did go into it initially thinking, let's do it this way. Broke it 30 times, I think I said on the podcast last time.
Yeah, man.
So this didn't happen overnight. This was a process to get to. And once I got to the same point where I'm like, well, what if I think about this as a team? How can I distribute this work? How can I give this person specific jobs to do? Once I got that, then it crystallized in my mind. I'm like, okay, that's how we need to do it, because then we run our team.
Okay, so basically, you guys, when you work with a business, how do you go about it? Like, you do the same thing as what you've done here for them. You analyze a business, you then build the foundation, you build the team, and then off it goes. How does that all work for people who want to? Because I got these questions, and I'm like, put over to you guys.
I'll start to the first part is it's really the consulting part, isn't it? Really,
so that's what you
seek to understand first, because we're not selling a widget. It's not a one size fits all. Everyone's going to be very different. So for me, it's firstly demonstrate that we have the knowledge in this space, and we'll bring up clients we're working with that we have permission to. We'll bring up our dashboard, visibility. Like, just we're not gatekeeping. Bring up everything, phenomenal. Show them on a Zoom, so that they can feel, touch, look at it, because otherwise it's just me talking a lot of hot air. And then Sean will be on that one. And then the key is that it's over them to talk and tell us what their problems are. What I found yesterday, we did a meeting, and Sean, because that meeting was recorded, the client said, here are my problems and here's a spreadsheet, over to Sean to then basically put that together and go and demonstrate something back to them in our pitch, going, here's the problems you said, here's how we can fix it. Here's even a working model that we've mocked up for you, all before they've spent any money, because they want to know that it's possible. That's my take. And over to you on that, Sean, on the sort of the knock up you did for the CEO yesterday, just to demonstrate it was possible.
Yeah, look, to come back to your question, I guess, is I probably wouldn't spin up this team every time there's a new client, because I find it probably works better that we keep this on. So this is running our team, and these agents are responsible for our clients. So the marketing manager will be responsible for multiple clients. Unless it's a ridiculously large business that warrants or actually want to have their own system, we might look at it that way. But in general, this is the team that we would use to actually provide the services for our clients. So
very cool.
That way you're minimizing the overhead as well. We're not spinning this up every time, having to manage it all. We may get to a point where a huge client comes in and says, no, I want that. But in general, I think most people would be able to, we'd be able to plug most businesses into our system and then run them from there.
Wow.
But simply from the audio notes from the meeting, if they were wanting to divulge you through a few things, here's their website, here's a Google, it would listen and would task it with going back and mock up a quick solution to the problem that the task we were given. And at our meeting 2, book a meeting from a meeting. So we'd end meeting 1 and go, right, give us 3 days, give us 5 days. We'll, wherever we can fit you back in our schedule, we'd go back with some tangible evidence going, here's what we can deliver in month 1.
Yeah.
We're already at month 1. Let's start working on month 2.
Wow. And so then they have, like you said, they've got their team already built, plug into your platform, off they go. You manage the platform, you maintain it, you make sure that nothing stuffs up. They don't get back-end access, because I would hate to give any builder in the world back-end. I used to build back-end, websites. And I think we even built a website on, what's the platform?
WordPress?
Not even WordPress. What's the really easy one?
Squarespace.
Yeah.
Wix. Back in the day, Wix, and we handed it over, and they even broke that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, you can't hand over anything. And no offense, but you leave it to the tech experts and you guys optimize it. So I think that's absolutely phenomenal. How long does it take to actually plug into your system for people out there that you're working with at the moment? What's that lead time, or is it that discovery first?
It's part of that discovery process. And then like Drew said,
how long is it?
Every client's going to have a different need.
I think we'll use a realistic term: discovery process, engagement, and then we'll call it onboarding. It's just normal onboarding.
Beautiful.
And it would be, all right, here's the things that you've said. Let's say dashboard version 1 has 5 things on it. We'll need this login, this login, and away we go. And then it's over to them to get their logins over to us, feed that in, and then that dashboard's essentially live. And so the key would be, Sean's done this 1,000 times now in getting different logins to different applications. So it's then making sure that it's the speed of turnaround that the client can do.
Yeah.
And also having, one of the keys for us is having someone champion it in the office. It's got to be someone champion it.
Yeah.
We can go and ask, hey, that login didn't, that Facebook login didn't work. Yeah. They've got to know, or be quick turnaround, because if they take 2 days to get back to us, that's 2 days. That data's not there. So it is really that onboarding process and how long is a piece of string, how big a job is it, I guess.
Yeah. You know what's really, I've been thinking this whole episode ever since you said it, Drew, and kind of like, what do you call this thing? You know, I said it's like clarity. I know it's under buildability, but like, how do you describe this thing? Because it's very hard.
Yep.
It's clarity, it's execution. I think that's where the rubber hits the road when you've got agents that can do stuff. I think that's partly a lot of builders' problems in terms of marketing and different things like that. I actually don't know what to call this.
It's so new for us. We're the same. So we're still understanding that value proposition. So one-on-one in a meeting, everyone just melts and goes hands down. But how do we get that greater meaning out to the greater audience? So we're still working on that because I guess maybe that's the key is that it really is that one-on-one meeting each time.
When you were saying that, I kind of started to think about that. I think you guys are so bespoke and so solution focused for businesses and builders out there that it's hard to box it into one thing kind of thing, because as you said, you really give a shit and you actually sit down and go, what do you actually need?
Well,
all right. And then that's what we deliver.
Yeah.
But you deliver it through technology with great visibility, but everything's a bit different. It's all bespoke. It's like a custom home builder, a custom solutions builder.
If we go out and lead with AI solutions,
I know
90% of the market's not ready for that.
No,
yet, right?
no.
If we go out and say we're just marketing solutions, everyone goes, "Oh, I've been sold."
I know.
Marketing. So it is operationally. They think, "Oh, they're selling me a CRM." Technology, they think they're selling me SEO. So it really is. If we might start playing around with that word bespoke because we really need to nail that as quick as possible to get to that broader market. But in the meantime, the one-on-one meetings are fine because we are able to deliver value straight away.
That's it. And that's what you do. I think that's what I love about it. No matter what the overarching little name or whatever tagline you want to give it, solves a problem. And that's the biggest thing in the whole world. Like that's all you need to do. And that's what I love about it. There's so many AI things out there, AI wrap things that people say, come do this, writers, all this stuff. When they're not built for your business, they just don't work.
Yeah.
Not a bright, shiny thing you get a subscription for and then you forget about and you pay hundreds of dollars and then you cancel it in 2027 or 2028.
Yeah, it keeps going.
It's so cool. It's so cool. Well, what's the next steps for this? What are you thinking next for it, Sean? Where do you think this thing's going to go? Anywhere it wants to go.
Anywhere it wants to go. I guess we're kind of led by our client needs and what we want within our business. And I think, like as you experienced before, every half an hour for me, I'm my jaw's on the floor thinking, oh, can't believe we can do that. And I can't believe we can do it so quick. So I don't know is the real answers to that question.
Yeah. Well, there was one thing that you showed me that was really impressive, and I don't know if you want to show it. But one of the things that Sean and Drew showed me that this thing could do was a, I can't believe I forgot a branding guideline.
Style guide.
Style guide.
Yeah.
Now, some of you builders know me out there from my primal days, and I charge you $20,000 for a style guide, and that's the truth. Osmar Homes.
Yeah. Do you want to look at
Now, I'm sorry, Osmar. Josh, I love you. But we put in a lot of work, but we put it in manually. Now, what was really interesting for me was that what I saw you did with the style guide in terms of, how you developed it and then what it actually looks like. It was better than what we delivered. And how long did this thing sort of take?
I saw this yesterday, by the way. This.
Yeah.
He goes, while I've got you, so we finished the Zoom, he goes,
this is fresh.
While I've got you, I just want to show you something. I'm like, oh, you did what?
Yeah. And who did this? How did it get done? So I get what you guys do, but so we can kind of give me and the community a bit of an understanding about how all those little agents work. Like, how did this happen?
I guess without going into the nerdy part of it.
Yeah.
Because we could probably talk all day about that. But essentially I've taught the agents with some skills, some marketing skills, how to basically do these things. So I've said, hey, go to our website, get our logo and see whatever styles you can find there. And I want you to create, there's a couple of other things I gave it, the logos, whatnot, to create this brand and style guide that's interactive so that I can, copy the colors. I can show clients or show Drew and say, look, this is
even copy the colors is cool, mate.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm
on my website. Canva and you're like, hashtag 2233. Well, I'm like, where do I find that?
A website designer in my background. And one of the things that always bothered me was when you have the client colors, but then you'd always have to go somewhere to get the colors and copy them back in, as you know.
Thank you.
So that's why that copy feature was there. But essentially, I've said, go and build this style kit for me. And it's without further prompting, it's gone and put together this
Look at that.
And basically goes through our entire topography, goes through how to use the logo, brand voice. And this is the kind of thing that you would have paid 10, 20 grand for,
Yep.
from a marketing agency, spent weeks getting there. And obviously with a bit of prompting and a bit of back and forth, you can do the same thing very quickly.
I'll tell you what, there are so many builders out there, no matter the size. I think we talked about builders that are teams of 10 and 20 that don't have a brand style guide and never stick to it and don't have the right website and all this. Like, this is phenomenal.
Well,
and this is not another service, but this is what this thing can do for you and what you guys can do for a builder. You can help with all that stuff.
And on the back of that, I feed this guide back to the marketing manager and say, make sure you follow this in all things, and it will stick to that guardrail. So.
But then secondly, you're going back to the marketing manager, the ops manager going, could we improve the style guide based on our competitors in this area, asking it to fully feedback loop, and you can ask it to do that weekly, quarterly. So it's then machine learning for you, updating the style guide as it goes.
Yeah. I still don't know what to call this. It's like continuous improvement.
Exactly.
I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah.
I would have easily charged 20 grand for that, Sean. Mate, I did on a PDF document, not a HTML thing that anyone could access, with clickable colors that you can copy into Canva with the hashtag and all the things that you love about this thing.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Look at even down the left-hand pane of like just how it follows down the bounce ball. Like, it's the machine learning or thinking for us, or Sean's asked to think for us, is outstanding. And so the delivery side for us now is all right. Well, almost anything in that marketing, operations, sales, or technology space, as long as the machine can learn it, it can do it.
Wow. Far out. Okay. Well, where to from here, guys? Like, what do we actually do? I think this has been a phenomenal podcast, and it's one of the first that we've been able to, I think you guys are one of the bravest, honestly, in a way, in terms of, we've had a lot of people approach us here at The Good Builder that we definitely don't trust as much as you. That's cool to say. Partners with us. We love you guys. But you're the first that have gone, hey, let's just show you the back end. Let's just show you what we do. Let's actually show you what's operating in this system.
Yeah.
This has been freaking phenomenal. And it's just game changing for the construction industry. I think any construction business that doesn't have some form of this in their business is going to be left behind very, very, I know that's very cliche.
Yeah.
Lots of people say it, but they're going to be 100% because there'll be builders that will just be, what? Who can do that? Who can build a website in a day?
Yeah. Plenty of people are talking about it.
Yeah. Doing it.
Who's actually doing it. And that's why we're happy to be visible and go, here's ours, because no one's going to copy it. Let's face it. They can try it, but the idea of the machine learning, and then Sean and I's, but we've been at this 6 years, that marketing, operations, sales, and technology, we come up with that 6 years ago. We just didn't know how to land it, and we didn't know how to execute it. So it's not like it's just overnight. This has literally been a 6-year passion of, had we come up with all the services under that can be delivered, now they literally can be delivered with the click of a button. So for us, it's just so refreshing to go, validation after 6 years of actually rubber on the road. We were doing it for clients, but we could only do it one-on-one. We couldn't scale it whatsoever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got one more question. What would be the ROI for a client? I was just trying to work that in my head, because I reckon you've got about 1 million, I reckon 1.5, maybe 2 mil worth of employees sitting in the agents that are of the top 1% in Australia in terms of what they do, which is fantastic. Look at that style guide. My old designer wouldn't have done better than that. And I love you. I'm sorry, but you wouldn't have done better than that. And then, the output, the 24/7 work.
ROI originally for us is just coming out the saying of replacing 3 full-time employees less than the cost of 1. I think if we start there, because everywhere else gets a little bit advantageous, or you're pulling numbers from the sky. So number from the sky, I think. So because
I've got a few numbers.
The ROI for a builder turning over 20 million, the ROI for a franchisee with 20 franchises, totally different. Because it's then going to come back to the franchise level, what they can execute on, back to the main level. So I don't think we shouldn't pull numbers out, because it's going to be different for everyone.
I'm going to chuck an ROI out there. If you had that marketing manager replacing me when I was at GJ's, because I know it's better than me, they would have saved 150 just on the spot.
Yeah.
And you've got 8 other employees sitting there, and they would have been able to do my job, because all I did was oversee the brand, develop guidelines, direct the campaign strategy. My rubber never hit the road. I never put on Facebook ads. I never did stuff like that. Advised on the social. That thing could do exactly that. And I'm just being really honest now. And I think builders need to think about that. When they're recruiting is very hard. I reckon recruiting is one of the most scientific arts if you can do it properly and get good people. Like, you've got to do it really well. It's really hard. People can fake you out really well, and they've done it to me a lot with a bot or with AI. It's very hard to fake out. So I don't know. My opinion, and I do love humans. My opinion is the human race is limited in some things. Like,
Well, you got to sleep, right?
Yeah. You got to as well.
Yeah, the contractor space is ripe for change because it will get tougher out there. There's a lot of competition for recruitment and procurement. So it's just this is just another way to have that competitive advantage. Simple as that. Simple as that.
And it's a big competitive advantage.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, mate, that was absolutely phenomenal. Is there anything else you guys want to show us or talk about in terms of the platform, actually? Do you want to show us something else?
I honestly don't know. There's so many things we could show you and so many possibilities.
We'll save that for next time because we'll have a trench of things that we can actually show. Because what we'll keep adding to is to that our own the example dashboard, and we'll have sort of more ideas as we build more out, because the client ones we built are so much more in depth than this
and specific to the business.
Specifics in their business. So we can't show them, but we'll start bringing the best of this into our example one and just show some live examples of what's
no worries. Well, it was a phenomenal introduction to it. Like, I hear a lot of talk about this stuff. I don't see a lot of action, and I don't see a lot of people that can actually do it, to be honest with you. And as I said, have some really good friends in this space that haven't been able to do it, and they've been trying. Very cool that great partners of ours like you are doing it, proving it, showing us it. It's available for the market. Don't ask me questions. Send them over to these guys. And I will put link, and I will make those intros to a few of those builders I spoke about, particularly in that franchise space, because I think this is really advantageous. And for the fee, knowledge is power. Like, you just can't put a price on that anyway, even though you guys are pretty cheap. I know that sounds bad. I'd pay a lot more. Correct. 1 point, what was it? 2 point something million for the GJ software that didn't do any of this. Love you, GJs. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much, guys. Come back on when you've got more news, and we'd love to see more of the stuff that you're building out. And thank you for doing this for the industry. I think, your pain of losing money, your pain of sleepless nights, Sean, and putting this thing together drew you to is going to be a massive advantage. So thank you.